Welcome to Owning a Piece of America. My name is Bautista. I'm honored that my guest today flew in from New York just to be on our show. He previously was the co-president of Goldman Sachs, the president of New York Stock Exchange, CEO of Merrill Lynch, and currently is the chairman and CEO of CIT One West. It is my pleasure to welcome John Thain.
Faith, I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Thank you so much, John. John, with your stature, with your background, please tell us about the U.S. Economy now.
Sure, Faith. The U.S. economy is growing. It's just growing too slowly. Unemployment is lower, but there's still too many Americans who are either underemployed or who have dropped out of the workforce. And wages have not really improved very much. So we need to get the economy growing faster, and we need to get some wage improvement.
I agree. As a nonprofit leader, I always see that the unemployment is still in the two digits. The African American, the Southeast Asian area, like in Central Valley, there's still a need of a lot of improvement in there. China being the second largest economy, is that a big impact in the U.S., you think?
So the Chinese economy has been slowing down, and you see that in commodity prices. So the demand for coal, the demand for steel, there's been weakness in those sectors. You've also seen the amount of trade around the world come down. The Dry Baltic Index, which is one of the measures of how much commodity trade is going on, is at a record low. So that weakness in commodities, weakness in trade, has a secondary effect on the U.S. economy.
Yeah, well, you know, people are saying we're so afraid of the China that they will surpass U.S. economy, and I really don't think so.
Well, they may surpass it eventually in terms of how we measure it, but there's no question the United States is still the greatest economy in the world, and it really is the economy that is able to transform itself and to use technology to change and to continue to grow.
Yeah, at least in my lifetime, I don't think that will happen. So being a former president of New York Stock Exchange, you know, stock market really went down. Tell me about that, because I still believe that we still have good stocks market.
Well, so the stock market has been down over the last couple of months, but it's still at a relatively high level. And part of the reason it's gone down is a concern about the impact of low energy prices on the energy sector of the economy. So low oil prices, low natural gas prices do have a negative effect on those companies that are in that business. But overall, low gasoline prices, consumers will have more money to spend. It'll be cheaper for them to heat their homes. And so the lower energy prices should over time reflect an improvement in the U.S. economy.
And the lowest gas price ever. I was in Central Valley, Fresno, and it was $1.89, and I think the average gas price is $1.50 in the U.S. now?
Yeah, so that will give consumers more money to spend, and I think that will cause the economy to do better over the course of 2016.
Yeah. Let's talk about the financial crisis, you know, the difference between the financial sector now and before and now. What do you see?
Well, I think the biggest problem with the financial sector post the financial crisis was the loss of confidence in those institutions and the damage to their reputations. And so over time, those financial institutions need to rebuild consumers' confidence, and they need to rebuild their reputations.
And at the same time, John, being a community organizer, serving the people, I see a lot of over-regulations from the home origination to the small business. It's still hard to access capital. It's still hard to access mortgage. And I don't blame everybody, but I think it's too much regulation right now.
Well, there's no question that that's true. That is not unusual post a financial crisis to have a over-regulation. But I'll give you one example. SIFI, the Systemically Important Financial Institution. So that was set at a $50 billion level. And there's no question that a $50 billion financial institution is not systemically important. But when those institutions have to deal with all the regulatory costs and all the burdens of that, that's less money available for small businesses, that's less money available for consumers.
Right. That's why I would really agree with Governor Tarullo, the Vice Chair of the Federal Reserve, that the systemic important banks should be raised to $100 billion. And then for the community banks, the $10 billion, that is still low. It should be at least in the $20 billion. It costs the banks too much money with this overregulation, and I feel like they should spend that money in serving the homeowners, serving the small business, rather than checking everything, crossing the I's, dotting the T's too much.
So I think you're absolutely right, and hopefully we'll get that movement and raise those levels.
Talk quickly about the interest rates. Are they supposed to really raise it?
Well, so the Fed raised rates 25 basis points. That is a very small amount. Rates can't stay at zero forever. And so eventually the Fed needs to move interest rates higher. I think they're going to do that in a very measured, careful way.
Yeah, and to me, John, it's still very low interest. It's still best time to buy homes. It's still great time to get loans. I mean, when I bought my home long time ago, even in 1997, it was like, double-digit interest rate, and it's still 3.25, so it's still very low. So, ladies and gentlemen, we really don't have a lot to complain about. Life is still good. We'll be back with John Thain. Thank you.
From fashion to planes, from retail to real estate, from energy to rail, from healthcare to technology, CIT serves clients across a wide variety of industries. We help fuel businesses with commercial lending, leasing, and treasury management services. They in turn add value, add jobs, make a difference. CIT. Put knowledge to work.
Welcome back again to Owning a Piece of America. It's really our lucky today because we have John Thain, the chairman of One West, a division of CIT. Did I say that correct?
She did. Yes, absolutely.
Good. John, I want to talk more about the banking industry, One West CIT. You just got your merger, and congratulations for that. What is the plan of One West CIT to really increase home ownership, to really increase small businesses to be part of owning a piece of America?
So Faith, because you've been involved with our CRA plan, that we're very committed to providing funding, both loans and investments in our local community, and particularly trying to help small businesses and trying to help individuals, consumers, and people in the low and moderate income areas to be able to purchase homes.
So do you agree that there's probably 150,000 minority, low moderate income that needs homes right now? And there's some struggle there as a counselor, HUD approved counseling agency, from the credit scoring, down payment assistance. That's what we're seeing. What is your advice, or what do you think should be done to increase home ownership?
So there's a number of programs that are currently in place. So Fannie Mae has a program that's called Home Ready that allows up to 97% financing. And the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco actually has a program called WISH that provides grants that can make up some of that 3% down payment. Both of those programs are interesting ways to try to provide financing to low and moderate income individuals. And interestingly, just this morning, Bank America announced a program with Freddie Mac and a not-for-profit where they also are providing financing up to 97%. So I think that there are ways to get the ability of individuals to purchase homes.
So, in your experience then, for those home buyers that were financially educated, that can be a sustainable homeowner, they should not be left behind, right? There's a help there for every single one of them.
I certainly hope so, and we at CIT One West are committed to being part of that solution.
Okay, fantastic. For the small businesses, there's 90 98% are small businesses, especially in our community. The Latinos, the Southeast Asian, I mean, we're really entrepreneur spirit. How do you encourage, I mean, you serve commercial businesses. How would One West CIT serve those micro small businesses?
So there's really two ways we can do that. One is through small business lending, and so we are a small business lender. That's the government program. But the second, which is a new opportunity, is we purchased a company called Direct Capital, and they provide, through very technology-driven online capability, loans or leases to mostly small and middle market companies. And so providing that direct capital solution into our marketplace here in California is a great opportunity, I believe.
So you're talking about internet, you know, the fintech, right? Fintech is a financial technology institutions, and I know they're not as regulated as One West CIT. What does that mean?
Well, first of all, the fintech companies are not regulated as banks, so they operate outside of the traditional banking system. They have been quite successful at providing certain types of financing, but they haven't gone through a financial crisis. And I think it's not clear how they'll do when we get in a more negative part of the credit cycle.
John, I heard you're going to retire. I mean, why? And what will you be doing after this retirement?
So it is absolutely true that I'm going to retire. I will cease being the CEO of CIT March 31st. And I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to relax. And as you know, I have 2 of my children and a granddaughter here in the LA community, and I'm going to spend time with them.
So that means we'll be seeing you a lot more.
Yes, absolutely.
So One West CIT, it's a long word for people to remember, and I know when you go to different branches, it's only One West, and I don't think people really know CIT. How do I encourage people to go to One West, a division of CIT? What?
So this is a debate that we've had. So CIT is over a 100-year-old company. So actually CIT does have good brand recognition, at least in certain segments of the marketplace. But as you know, we never had branches. And so the One West branches, you know, we're debating whether or not we should keep that One West branding or whether we should move to a CIT bank branding. But right now, you can encourage them just to go to the One West branches because that's the sign they're going to see.
No, I'm biased because I bank also with One West and the leadership of the new Ellen Alimany. So the April 1st, it's not April Fool's that Ellen is going to be the CEO?
No, that April 1st is the day she becomes the CEO, and she has great banking experience. You know, she ran Citizens Bank, which is on the East Coast, and she, I think, will provide a lot of expertise in terms of building up our commercial banking and retail banking presence.
John, can you give our audience a piece of advice, whatever you want to advise?
Well, that's a very broad question, but look, I think that as the economy does better, there will be opportunities for small businesses to invest in their businesses and grow their businesses, hire more people. I also think as the economy improves and home prices pick up, the opportunity to own a home is a great thing. And so I would be supportive of both of those.
Thank you again. See, that's the best advice you could give. Welcome again to Owning a Piece of America. Owning a Piece of America presents Lifestyle with Asian Journal. I'm sitting beside a lady who probably has one of the coolest jobs in the planet. She currently is the creative content and marketing manager of HA. I'll let her tell you herself what HA stands for, and we'll be talking about all the fun things she does and all the fun places and events she gets to go to for her job. This lady is named Kelsey Ferrer. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Good. Before we talk about the things you're doing today, why don't you tell me how you got started in the fashion industry?
Well, I started in the fashion industry by interning for Guess in the design room. And I always had studied photography, drawing, art. And then I decided that I would try being a designer. I didn't know how hard it was going to be or easy, but I decided to go to FITM to study it and really learn what I wanted to do in fashion. I took a major called product development there, which was really well-rounded. And I was able to figure out through a lot of different internships what I wanted to do. I had the amazing opportunity to become a trend forecaster for Guess for about a year. And then after that, I worked as a designer at Pacific Sunwear. And then about a year ago, joined the team at HA, or Hot as Hell, which is where I'm at currently, as a creative content and marketing manager.
Kelsey, I know you're probably 22, 23. How did you make it for so young?
Well, I think that it was a lot of my drive that got me here. I was very ambitious and tried a lot of different internships while I was in school. And I think school, along with internships, hand in hand, I was able to learn on the job and at school and really apply them to each other.
So from my understanding, HA is more than just a brand. It's a lifestyle and a movement. What led to the creation of HA? So Hot as Hell?
Yes. Hot as Hell is a beachwear, swim, and lingerie line. And it is really a lifestyle because we're pioneering the idea that sexy is about being real, and it's amazing to be natural and authentic, and that means no push-up, no padding, no underwire. It's all about comfortable, natural, and beautiful clothing that's high quality.
So even a size 6, size 10 can wear HA swimwear?
Yes, we make a ton of different styles for different body types. A lot of them are adjustable. All of our straps on our bikinis don't have any clasps or metal closures, so you can really adjust it to your own body, which is amazing and pretty rare in the swim world.
So being that part of your job description is to cultivate the brand image through the production of creative content that lives on all social media and e-commerce platforms, that means you get paid to go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, to get paid for being there, that's something else. Now everybody is saying, I can do that. It's not that simple, folks. You know, tell me, Kelsey, how much time do you spend on your computer? And gives us a little bit more insight on this part of your job.
I actually spend a lot of time on the computer, and social media does sound like an easy job, but it's not as easy as it looks. I spend a lot of time on both my phone, my computer, and sometimes my iPad, crafting all the content that I'm gonna be sending out. So everything really has to fall in line with our big marketing campaigns. So everything really is planned ahead of time. But because social media is so instant, you constantly have to be checking and interacting with your viewers because you have to be a real brand and be there. And then a whole other aspect of it is realizing that social media is global. So I can't just post Instagram in the middle of the day Pacific Standard Time because all the people on the other side of the world will never see it because they'll be asleep. So I schedule my postings to be throughout the middle of the night, early in the morning. Sometimes I have to post something at midnight so that...
You know, you're still young. We need 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you get that. So.
Well, you know, set an alarm.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, your clothes are made of quality material. I'm sure the viewers watching want to know if your designs are affordable or targeted more for celebrity clients and models.
Well, Hot as Hell is a really high quality line, and I would say it falls somewhere in between because we definitely have some pieces that are competitive with brands in our space, but we really made an effort to work with top-of-the-line manufacturers around the world using the highest quality products and fabrics. And part of our brand is really trying to be ethical and sustainable. So the price point really comes from that. We actually partnered with this amazing factory in Sri Lanka to co-launch a new eco-friendly...
So what are the prices?
Well, it really depends on the category, but the swimwear is about like $50 a piece or $100 a piece for each item, and then you can mix and match. It really ranges, and then lingerie falls somewhere in like the 30, 40, 50 range, depending on the pieces.
Still affordable.
Yeah, but our dresses definitely do get a little more expensive, but we're working on sustainable fabrics, which is really amazing because so much of fashion has a negative impact on the world.
Right.
So we want to make sure we're putting our best foot forward and doing things eco-friendly, sustainable, and ethical as well.
Good. Kelsey, in 20 seconds, tell the millennials, I mean the 23-year-olds out there, how to be like you. Or how did you become like you? What's your secret? Give me 3 things
My
or
secret.
2 things. Yeah.
Definitely work hard at what you're doing. Be confident. Have faith in yourself, and follow your passion.
I mean, you're only 23. 23 years old are still drinking out there. They still don't know what to do. They're still debating if they're going to go to school or not. 10 seconds. Tell me how you can make it instantly at the age of 23.
I think that if you work really hard and you set a goal for yourself and you just do everything you can to chase that dream, I think that that's the most important thing.
There you go. So the viewers out there, the millennials, you can be like Kelsey. Even though you're 20 or 23 years old, it's not the age. We will be right back after this commercial.
From fashion to planes, from retail to real estate, from energy to rail, from healthcare to technology, CIT serves clients across a wide variety of industries. We help fuel businesses with commercial lending, leasing, and treasury management services. They in turn add value, add jobs, make a difference. CIT. Put knowledge to work.
Welcome back to Owning a Piece of America. I'm with Kelsey Ferrer, a vintage enthusiast, photographer, fashion designer, and a whole lot more. Believe me, Kelsey, I know your job takes you to so many Fashion Week runway shows every season. I've always wanted to ask this question. Why don't runway models ever smile? Are they directed to do that? If so, why?
You know what? That's a really funny question. It's a good question because I'm not really sure why that's become the norm. I've actually produced a couple of runway shows myself now, one for Guess and one for Hot as Hell. And when we did Miami Swim Week, we wanted to be different. So we told the girls to embrace what they've got and have fun on the runway. And I think that that was a really cool experience for them to be able to do that. We played a rock and roll playlist and had them just walk with confidence and attitude, and it was really fun.
Gosh, next time you're gonna do that here. So, so you have previously worked for Pacific Sunwear and Guess. You have a background in fashion, trend forecasting, where you work with buyers and product developers designing styles that have high selling potential. Yeah. Kelsey, where do you get your fashion trend aspirations? And how do you know ahead of time if a design will be something that everybody will want to buy or own?
I look to a lot of different parts of our culture for inspiration. I definitely start with art. I go see a lot of galleries and museums wherever I am traveling, or in our own city. There's amazing museums in LA. And I like to see what's happening in the art world to look for print and color inspiration. I also look to vintage. I shop a lot of vintage, whether it's flea markets, vintage shops, and find amazing styles with little details that you don't really see anymore because fast fashion's become so quick that the detail and thought part has kind of disappeared in the main marketplace. I also find inspiration in music, live music and shows, and what's happening with the progression of optimistic or more melancholy music kind of sets a tone for a story.
So you're constantly out there just checking out what they will buy. I mean, like for us, you know, for the 50s and the 60s, we're always just in a suit. I mean, can we still be a hip hop and stay our professionalism?
You know, I really think that you don't have to confine your age to a certain type of style. I think that nowadays you can kind of wear whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever makes you feel beautiful, and I think that that's the most important thing.
You know, that's true. I was gonna wear a red hot dress for you.
You should have, but you're here with Hot as Hell.
I know, but I don't have that confidence yet. But you're right. I think it's how you feel. And forget about really what people think about you. As long as, you know, you're within reasons, of course.
If you're confident in what you're wearing, then people wouldn't bat an eye.
Yeah. And let's talk about, you know, is there really such a thing as dressing age appropriately, like having different wardrobes when you are in 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s? I mean, that's what we were just talking about.
No, I really don't think that you need to dress differently because of your age. I think that it's all about what you like and what makes you comfortable.
And for, you know, the large size, I mean, what's your advice to them that that they will still look sexy, they will still look good, even though they're size 36.
Well, I think that that's beautiful. I think embracing your own body and being who you truly are is really what's sexy and what's cool.
Okay, so my friends that oversized can still look so sexy, I'm going to tell them that.
I think that being real and authentic is the most important thing.
There you go, my gosh, listening from a 23-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, while browsing through your Instagram account, I came across a photo that says, balance is a key in everything that you do. Dance all night, drink wine, but don't forget to do your yoga and drink your green juice the next day. And my last question, after the fun night of dancing and drinking, what does Kelsey Ferrer do the next day?
It's so funny that you pulled that quote because it's actually my favorite. And it really embraces my real life. I definitely still live the life of a 23-year-old. I like to go out with my friends and have a couple drinks, why not? But you know, I really do think that balance is key, and if that means waking up the next day and having a green juice, I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do Sunday morning. Go on a hike, go on a run, go do yoga, meditate, you know, switching it up and being balanced.
You know, that's true. You know, I work a lot. I work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, and I still find the time to exercise and talk to my friends. And although I don't drink wine, but a sip of it doesn't kill me. So, but I have another question though. This is my last question.
Okay.
You can only buy one thing, a pair of sexy shoes or a sexy outfit.
I have to say, I'm a sucker for shoes. I would buy a pair of sexy shoes before the outfit. I think that you can wear shoes so many times and create so many different outfits with them and a different look. Plus, I work at Hot as Hell, so there's an endless supply of sexy clothes around me all the time.
So you're like, this is the Imelda version. Well, Kelsey, I can't thank you enough, Kelsey, for being on the show. I know it's a very busy time for you. Maybe next time we can have a mini fashion show here to see all your coming cool collections.
That would be amazing. I think that's a great idea.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a 23-year-old already made it in fashion industry. You can start young. And for those of you, the millennials, time is of the essence. Don't waste any time. By the time Kelsey retires, she will be 50 years old and she made everything that she wanted. So thank you again for watching Owning a Piece of America. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you so much for having me.